Babe Nation leader resumes the list. Stay tuned. God bless you on this Wednesday morning. This is yours truly, Pastor Nate. It is my absolute pleasure every time I can come and speak with you. Before you click off this video, if you like the content that I provide, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. The Smart family will be glad to have you a part of it. I appreciate your support. The Queen of Babe Nation is resuming the list. Y'all know I did a video a couple days ago about Brianna discontinuing the list. Now, the Queen of the beef sector is now resuming the responsibility of the list. She even made an announcement. We need a list reader. And she kind of suggested V. Lenore to read the list. Now, V. Lenore is a nice lady, very well articulate. So if anybody is qualified to read a list, it would be her. But there are some other things we need to look at before bringing a person on to read the list. But before we go to that criteria, I want you to listen to the babe making the announcement.
We need a reader for the list, V. Lenore.
She needs a reader. Now, this person who is going to read the list, this is a very difficult job. You got to be willing to be hated. You got to be willing to be doxxed. Yes, because you're in the spotlight. You're airing out people's laundry. You're reading people's situations, and they're going to come against you. So you need a strong person. And because of the heat that's given to this person who reads the list, hence the reason why Brianna discontinued it. So we're going to Babe Nation now, who's going to be reading the list. Babe Nation, I believe, is hated more than Brianna's camp. So the heat's going to be turned up. So whoever is reading this list, Pastor Nate is going to pray for you. Now, here are some of the criteria. Make sure that you meet these criteria before you read the list. I'm kind of like a recruiter, so I'm just laying down the job description and what your qualifications are, right? Y'all know when you go for a job, you look at the qualification and the skills needed to perform that task. This is kind of what this video is about. Before you come on as a reader, you need to have a backbone. And I have the list right here. You need to be okay with being talked about, dragged, and hated, and possibly even doxxed. We know doxing is possible because that's what happened to the reader who read for Brianna. Oh, come on, somebody. I'm sure you got to be Babe Nation, right? Somebody that Babe knows and someone who she's comfortable with. The next point, you got to be able to comprehend, right? You don't want to read anything and then misquote and miscomprehend. So we need somebody who really can interpret and have good judgment, which is my next point. You need good judgment because what if somebody nominates someone and they speak about someone's child? Well, if you got good judgment, you'll go through filtering that out, right? That's what Kimmy say she did. So you got to be willing to weed out some stuff that's not appropriate. And we know children, and talking about people's deceased loved one, I would hope someone who reads this can go through there deciphering that stuff out. And then you need to be able to read like they read in church.
Come on. Read.
Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion.
Come on now.
Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem.
Come on, both of them go shout.
Behold, thy king cometh unto thee.
He coming now.
You don't want nobody stumbling over their words. You want somebody to read with power. That's what the old saints said. Yes. Friend, my point is not the list. My point is when you're doing a difficult job, such as reading the list, you really got to be strong. And I'm not so much in favor of reading the list because I know some of the things that will be read. But my point is having on the whole armor of God. Sometimes God will ask you to do a difficult task. And I'm not saying God is asking the reader to come aboard and read the list. I'm not saying that. I don't know. God may have told him that. But for some of the stuff that will be read, I'm not sure. But anyways, my point is, if God asks you to do a difficult task, people are going to hate you. You're going to be criticized. That doesn't mean God didn't tell you to do it. According to Ephesians, you have to put on the whole armor of God so you can be able to stand the fiery darts. And when people come against you, you won't fold. God is not calling a coward soldier to stand up and fight. He's calling somebody with a backbone. And that's what needs to take place when somebody's reading that list. You need to have a backbone. I'm not going to volunteer to read it because that's not what I do. But let's just say if it's a difficult job and everybody's afraid to do it, if God tells me to do it and I get up there and read it, just like you saw them reading in church, if God tells me to do it, I will do it. I'll do anything that God tells me to do, whether I'm hated or not. I don't care about being hated, because if God tells me to do it, he's got my back and he knows how to silence. Oh, God in Zion. He knows how to silence the mouth of the enemy. He knows how to close the mouth of the naysayer. Y'all, I didn't mean to preach this morning, but y'all knew it was going to turn into a biblical lesson. You knew it. You knew it. You know I'm going to take the mess and turn into a message. You know I'm going to take the test and turn into a testimony. Come on, don't act new. You know what my channel is about. Friend, thank you again. In the meantime, in between time, be at peace and not in pieces. Whoever's reading that list, you're going to need the peace of God.